There we go. Who could believe this day would come? Sixth stop of Cqcs Innovation Latam, the last one. It's impossible for me not be emotional today. And I would like to use this space today to offer you all an overview that how we deal with the strange moment that society have been living to get today. Today is the day. And I will share with you one presentation that shows up how we launched it to be here today. Please, just a moment for your attention.
Well, with that movie, 2001, you're projecting us into the 21st century. I brought along my son, Jonathan, who in the year 2001 will be the same age as I am now. Maybe he will be better adjusted to this kind of world that you're trying to portray.
The big difference when he grows up, in fact, if we wanted to wait for the year 2001, is that he will have in his own house, not a computer as big as this, but at least a console through which he can talk to his friendly local computer and get all the information he needs for his everyday life, like his bank statements, his theater reservations, all the information you need in the course of living in a complex modern society. This will be in a compact form in his own house. He'll have a television screen like these here and a keyboard, and he'll talk to the computer, get information from it, and he'll take it as much for granted as we take the telephone.
I wonder, though, what sort of a life would it be like in social terms? I mean, if our whole life is built around the computer, do we become a computer-dependent society and computer-independent individuals?
In some ways, but they'll also enrich our society because it'll make it possible for us to live really anywhere we like. Any businessman, any executive could live almost anywhere on Earth and still do his business through a device like this. And this is a wonderful thing. It means we wanted to be stuck in cities, we better live out in the country or wherever we please, and still carry on complete interaction with human beings as well as with other computers.
So, March 16th, let me mute my phone here, please. March 16th, when pandemic arrived, we were thinking about a quarantine of 2 weeks. So we had a conference June 17th and 18th. Our plan is to put together 2,000 people, but wasn't only 2 weeks. So the virus came and put us at home. And we had an operation that couldn't be done. In 8 weeks, we realized that wouldn't be June. And at that moment, I got one extra thing to worry. Not only about the conference. 2 companies reached our partners, Cqcs, who run the Cqcs events projects, and Idealizar, also having nothing to do until November. And I started to think about what could you do to make things happen. I had a problem. I had a very nice network. I have a lot of connections. People around the world were planning to come to Brazil. Latam people really excited to share their knowledge and experience here. And I said, let's try to build something online. And we designed Cqcs Innovation Latam, an event with 6 stops, 9 minutes each month, so don't be really tough for people to stay hours and hours in their computers in the only event, with a really soft agenda, startup pitch, and 1 keynote speaker panel with 3 speakers. And for that, I start to talk to people around. Mr. Marcelo Blay is the first one who deserves my gratitude. He not only introduced me to ITC, a partnership that changed my life, Cqcs' life, and probably maybe in the future we could say the Brazilian insurance market's life. He He and Mr. Hilario Triago and my great friend Jonathan Kalman agreed to be with me in this first experience, and was a really risky choice. We never knew what could be happen. We'll talk about that a little later. Also, we need to be very thankful to Mr. Eduardo Coleman. Eduardo Coleman is our great friend. His nickname is Shrek. He helped very much finding people around the world who could speak with us. Mr. Caribou, the godfather, my godfather, the godfather of the INSCREVA-SE, the man who will be with us today, and you will realize how nice this man it is, how human, how sharp, and having him by my side always make me feel stronger to take risks. Our sponsors, in alphabetic order: Allianz, our gold sponsor; Bradesco Seguros, our gold sponsor; Cilia, amazing Brazilian insurtech, also our good gold sponsor; Potencial Seguradora, our gold sponsor; and SulAmérica. Those companies invested their money with us to make it happen, to monetize an unknown project, never done before. Thank you very much. We also were lucky to have our silver sponsors, Grid and MetLife. And our supporters, Icatu Seguros, Europa Systems, the Air Infinity, and Matos Filho. You guys, I will never forget how your confidence in our job make me feel stronger to face the challenges. Our strategic partners to try to make it really Latam, InLeap, Digital Insurance IMS, our official media in Brazil. They're really working very hard. Thank you very much, Seguro Total, JNS, Revista Cobertura, Seguro Nova Digital e Revista Policy. And for sure, all of our speakers. The first edition, I don't know if you remember, the great goal of our conference is to put Latam together. And we need to find a way, because Brazilians don't go to Colombia and Argentina and Chile for Latam events. Colombian, Chileans, and Argentinians don't come to Brazil to Latam events. We may go everybody to Miami, but I realized, let's make a conference in English with simultaneous translation for Spanish and Portuguese. That was the great point. And Jonathan Kalman, Marcelo Blay, Hilario Triago, Rafael agreed to take this risk with me. And it was a big trouble, the first one. The translation did not work. So it was supposed to be a 9-minute conference. It was a 3-hour conference. But with their help, Marcelo Blay made his presentation in English and spoke in Portuguese, because most of those people are from Brazil. Hilario spoke Spanish very slowly, and Jonathan Kalman did his sharp presentation. And Rafael from Cyclic did 3 presentations, 3 pitches, one in English, one in Spanish, and one in Portuguese. And we survived it. And we came. So thank you very much for you 4 guys who helped us in the first stop. In the second stop, we have our friend Leo Baruch, Flavio Bitter, Victor Navarro, and Tavi Brax. At that time, everything worked very fine. Thank you so much, you 4. And after that came Marcelo Melo, Luciano Lopachin, David Azarito, and Albert Costa, who did an amazing presentation about life insurance in the New World Order, who give really, how could I say, landscape overview for everybody on life insurance. After that, we have automobile insurance for the next generation with Nate Diaz, Bill Powers, Carlos Ricci, and Leonardo Lobo. Was an amazing meeting also. Last month, we had the pleasure to have Susan Hatton from Brooker Ventures. Our Brooker Ventures is probably a part of us for the future. We love it to be with them. And Eduardo Dalhi, Lionel Sofia, and Bartolomé Bung also made amazing conference. And thank you very much for our friends today, Caribou Honig, Edson Franco, Tatiana Matar, and Evandro Salles, that we'll talk a little bit more. But even the speakers and the sponsors, we have more people who really helped us to make it happen. We have Alexandrina from Keros, Alexandrina is responsible for all the communications, all the email marketing, all the posts in the social media. Adam Martins, Vitor Moreira, and Kleber Ferreira are responsible for the transmission. Cristina Leite takes care of our speakers, take very good care. Me and Gui. Monique Dutra is a manager of this operation. And we have a giant, a lady who really agreed to be with me to make it happen. Is Larissa Vilassa. And all this experience helped to make born an operation named Cqcs Events. Cqcs Events is a joint venture that will make a lot of difference on digital events. We already did this year 23 events for FENACOR. It's a unique conference for all over Brazil. And they already contacted us to make our first project in February of the next year, so they love it. And we will have in November, thanks God, the vaccines arrives, Cqcs, InsurTech and Innovation 2021. And we all expect you to know that we really feel really grateful because we're living a time that need to make us reflect about how pandemic impacted our lives. Look what I found. 2020 is not the year to get everything you want. This is the year to appreciate everything you have. And I feel really blessed because we survived 2020. We have a business that were born in 2001, Cqcs, our online community for insurance professionals who had no trouble in COVID. We can say that's the best year of Cqcs. But Keros and Idealizar started from zero possibilities for a 2021 with projects already arrived on the digital and also presential events. So the only thing I tell you all, from the bottom of my heart, gratitude. So let's get back on track. Thank you all with us here today. And I need to give you some special tips so you can get the best from this meeting. First of all, the chat will be open, our conference lounge. So you can meet other people, have some fun, get in touch, make your networking. And the Q&A is for you to use when you have our Q&A session. We're gonna have a pitch of 10 minutes with our INSCREVA of the month. After that, we will have our main panel talking about how COVID impacted the insurance market. And we need you to, please, we have a survey in the chat. It would be very useful if you could answer that because you help us in the next events because we're gonna get back in June 2021. So today is the last of this year. Next year, we're gonna have the digital conference, Cqcs Innovation Latam 2021, and Cqcs InsurTech and Innovation 2021. So for today, we're going to start inviting Mr. Evandro Salles from Kiver. Welcome, Evandro.
Thanks, Doria.
How are you, my friend?
Hello, everyone.
Evandro is a guy with 17 years of experience. He have experience in the financial area. Currently, he's the CFO of Quiver Solutions and working in a lot of large groups. And he's bringing us today a very special project, is Squiggle. Evandro, show us what Squiggle have to bring for the insurance market, so why we choose you the InsurTech of the month. Good luck, my friend.
Thank you so much, Doria, my new friend. It's a great opportunity, invitation to this edition. And for me, it's a great pleasure and Quiver, this opportunity talking to this specific market about our works and history, the Quiver. Thanks. Congratulations for it, man. Let's start. just a moment.
Take your time, my friend. Relax and and do your show. Everything's gonna be all right. Bob Marley told me that.
Do you see my screen?
Not yet.
Yeah, that's all right.
Not yet. Not working.
Don't really.
Stop sharing and start sharing again. Then you choose the space of the presentation.
My presentation.
Let me help you, may I? Abre a apresentação no PowerPoint antes de compartilhar e depois compartilha. Yes, you got it.
Okay.
Good luck, my friend.
I'm sorry. So it's a pleasure talk about Quiver. Quiver is a recognizing and traditional technology company and a specific insurance and broker market. But our recent restudy the Quiver since 2008. It's a great transformation of structure, brand, position, but curious, very singular, because with background, 29 years in Brazil is a very singular, specific, especially. In Quiver, we are like talking about overcome limits, overcome obstacles, and customer always comes first. It's really it's mantra in routine. It's true. It's very important for us. I think our solutions and technologies offering the opportunities and better management and processes the brokers in everyday life. And when we say that we are leaders, Mark, some number shows this very important. Look, we have 53,000 users in today. We have almost 6 million in policies and more than 29 years of experience. We have 38 terabytes volume of data and 4 million policies holders. It's very important data in sector, specific in sector. This is for me, this final data is a most wonderful of Quiver represent in market, because we have 29 billions in premiums. This is represent 30% effective contracts every the national market. This is very important and relevant in sector, specific in sector. Understand this made us have more responsibility. Understand our relevance in market and needed to act to support the brokers and the insurance companies, and even so how we can bring in even more value, more technology, more innovation. that generation more opportunities and facilities in the sector. Recently, we already had solutions, management solutions, multi-calculation solutions, and benefits management solutions. This year, special year, strange year, has full of changes for the most different industries. I think, and the case is not difference insurance broker, market broker, and insurance. We know that times increase wherever new opportunities also arise, and thinking about Quiver, especially, made two anticipate releases: Quiver On and a Quiver Quigo. Is both solutions offering and provide to small insurance broker to necessary tools to reinvent and to assess digital universe based on the current scenarios. So about Quiver On is a solution developed to help the insurance broker specifically sell online. I like to think that is a solution possibility specifically small and medium brokers. The accesses opportunities, improving the sales performance for the control, the better control, capture and distribution leads, to the quotation, and digital online format accessibility. This is the right time opportunity, and this great opportunity the brokers to expand his way of working, whether new approach, the prospect, and the whether capture leads in different formats, obtain that data, opportunities, quotes, environment insurance. Also think about expanding to access our solution, everyone, the brokers and insurance market, all the types, the sizes. We specifically in scenario pandemic, Quiver to release Quigo, anticipate release Quigo. This is very important. Talk about reality, the small insurance broker. We know that compared to the medium and the large insurance broker scenario, the reality of the small broker is very different. We search recently the better understand preoccupation in this market. In Brazil, only Brazil, 90% of interview, insurance brokerage is the main source income. This is very relevant. The typical scenario this year, many brokers had reinvented keep the business, their operation, and consequently their income. And despite the severe impact of the pandemic in automotive industry, the project is no have projects, the improvement, the better end the year. Quigo is an opportunity as only management and multi-calculation solution developed for the specific small brokers, eliminating to the need register the proposals, the policies, the endorsement, and commission statements. is zero manual inputs. And Quigo has a simple and intuitive interface to the broker, dashboard and information and format easier for visualization and control and management, preparation and proposals. It's better everyday life, the brokers know. About technology, this is important highlights. Overdue and unpaid statement organized in single screen. Listed insurance, the renewed 30 days before its maturity. History of up 1 year in the less than 48 hours without upload and files is great opportunity, large information, fast upload. Sharing policies and documents with customer via WhatsApp, modern communication. Commission statements from more than 20 insurance companies in a single screen. And simultaneous calculation, 50 insurance companies in the multi-calculation. And important differentials, no registration or manual inputs in system, integration with more 20 insurance companies, simple and intuitive interface, 100% automotive process, and accesses via desktop and mobile app. Cloud storage is secured, and best market price. So small price and accessibility, the small brokers, great opportunity. And finally, an unlimited user is form the quiver, help the market, the sector specifically, especially small brokers. So, and the summary, this is the Quigo, and Quigo, a new way of doing things. And the summary is the quiver, and very happy talking everyone, and thanks opportunity.
Thank you very much, Evandro. If you don't mind to unshare your screen. Stop sharing the screen. Yes, there we are. My friend, thank you very much. Please wait a little until the end because we already have questions for Quigo. So I expect to see you in the end of the Q&A session. Thank you so much. Very nice to have you here.
Welcome.
My friends, now we're going to have opportunity to meet a very special person. She is director of one of the most innovative insurance companies of Brazil. She is a new products director of Potencial Seguradora. Potencial Seguradora have 10 years in the market. She is a leader on the insurance side, is growing for a lot of other fields. And I'd like you all to say hello to Tatiana Matar. Hello, Tatiana.
Hi, Gustavo. Thank you for the kind presentation. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure for Potencial to share a bit of who we are and of how COVID-19 impacted our business. We're very happy to be here with you. Thank you for the invitation, Gustavo.
Good luck, and please share with us how COVID impacted our market. Good luck.
Thank you. Do you see my screen?
Yes, 100%. Beautiful. All right,
Thank you.
screen.
Thank you. Let's go. Just 1 minute, please.
You're probably your last slide, maybe.
No, it's the first one, but it's not going. I'm going to stop again and I'm going to.
Take your time. It's yours.
Thank you. There we go. So I'm going to start talking a bit about Potencial and who we are. So our purpose is to provide peace of mind, even at unexpected moments, which suits a lot everything that we're living in 2020. We want to provide peace of mind for our clients, for our employees, for our brokers, for our insurers. So that's our purpose, the purpose of for Potencial. We have very strong values and our decisions are guided by these values. We focus on our client. We love our clients. They are the reason that we exist. We are obsessed with growth and positive financial results. We know that growth is very important, but we know that positive financial results is even more important. We pursue innovation as a form of differentiation in our insurance market. We value people that embrace challenge. People can make a difference, and we value that. And last but not least, reputation is a big deal for us. We know that it takes a long time to build a brand and to build reputation, and it's very easy to destroy that. So reputation is a big deal for us. A bit about who we are. Potencial is a Brazilian and family-owned business with more than 600 million issued premium in reais, of course, in 2019. We have a Net Promoter Score of 75, and our goal is to overcome the score in 2020. This year, in May, we celebrated our 10-year anniversary. We were founded in 2010, so this year is our 10th year anniversary. We have a team of 240 employees nationwide. We have been the surety market leader since 2017. So 2017, 2018, 2019, we were leaders of the surety market. That's once more a consequence of our work. It's not a goal, it's just a consequence of what we do. As we can see in the graphic below, we are a very fast growing company. Since 2010 to 2019, we have a CAGR of over 63%. So it's very impressive for our growth rate. That's possible because we have a deep underwriting culture. And as I said before, Potencial is recognized as the second most profitable insurance company in Brazil, according to the net worth. And we also have very government standards that are key to achieve these good results and high standards. We have 8 offices spread throughout the main cities of Brazil, so we can be closer to our clients and to our brokers. Our headquarters is in Belo Horizonte, so if anyone outside Brazil is watching us, Belo Horizonte is in Minas Gerais, in the center of Brazil. A little bit about our products, very fast before we enter our COVID pauta. We started out as a single line company with only surety, but in 2013, we initiated our diversification strategy. So today we offer a portfolio of 5 products for our clients and for our brokers. And our goal is to come and put even more products in this portfolio in the next few years. How COVID-19 impacted Potencial. 2020 started as a promising year for Potencial and for Brazil. We had a lot of high hopes for this year. Hopes, economics, and positive changes with Brazil that, of course, would impact also changes in Potencial and results for Potencial. We had a challenging budget for the year of 2020. We invested a lot in our digital transformation, which started many years ago, but this year we decided that we were going to invest before everything happened. We already had this goal in January to invest in our digital transformation. And we had the goal of launching new products. When COVID came, we first thought that our plans could go downhill. So we knew that in crisis, there's always opportunity. So we stopped. Let's not get in advance. Let's not worry. Let's stop. Let's think about what is possible for us to do. What is important for us to become a stronger company after COVID. So we created a crisis and opportunity committee. Why crisis and opportunity? Because in every crisis, there is an opportunity. So we didn't like to call it a crisis committee. We like to call it a crisis and opportunity committee. And in this crisis and opportunity committee, we established some goals. The goals were, 1, to emerge from the pandemic stronger. Once all of this is over, we had to be a stronger company. 2, face crisis with spirit of reinvention. 3, keep our clients, worry about our customer experience. They are the reason that we exist. And 4, keep people employed. We did not want to fire our employees. We did not want to affect more negatively our employees more than already all the impacts of what the pandemic already had caused upon their lives. So we had established these 4 goals, and I'm going to tell a little bit more of how we came and we developed these goals throughout our strategies. As I said before, Potencial had already decided that we would invest in technology. Since in 2010, since we started, we already invested a lot in technology. But so we did everything that had already been planned, but in a more efficient way, in a faster way. We started reviewing our costs and also our priorities. It was a moment where we stopped to look at opportunities, inside Potencial, which would help us reach those goals established that I told you in the previous slide. We decided to pause the launch of new products. Some of the products are still being launched this year, but we had more products that were going to be launched. So we decided to pause some of the launches of some products. And we initiated a change in our culture. We started implementing agile operations throughout the company. Even though changes in culture are very hard, especially in uncertain times, we knew that this change in culture would help us accelerate even more our digital transformation. And like never before, we set our client as the most important thing that we have. We already did that before, but in COVID, we started the collaboration with our clients and brokers. We started calling our brokers to participate with us in our innovations, in our strategies, in our decision making. So that was very important change for Potencial. Also, it was very important for us to keep us posted on the changes that the insurance market global-wide was happening. So we were sure that Potencial was in line with everything that was happening global-wide. Last but not least, one important aspect that changed a lot for Potencial was our people. Our concern and well-being of our employees was closer to us than ever. Before, of course, Potencial always cares about our employees, but it's important to see the fact that what a pandemic brings into the life of our employees. It's not only to the life of Potencial. We had to think about if they had a structure in their house to make their work possible. So Potencial became closer than ever with our employees, which was a very good positive change. We expanded our human resources possibilities. We underwent significant changes, and those changes came to stay. We will remain with those changes even post-pandemic. What are some of those changes, for example? We decided that we would change our home office to anywhere office. Before it was only office, then it was home office, and now it's anywhere office. Flexible work arrangements, we decided to bring that into our culture also, so our employees would have more flexible hours and they would be with more life quality. They would have more life quality. So for example, if someone needs to drop their kid at school, wants to participate in a show or something for their kids, they can use flexible hours, which that was very important change for Potencial. Before we were very closed-minded in some of these aspects, very traditional. And one other aspect that opened a lot of for Potencial was our employee recruitment. Before, we would think that we would have to have our employees in Brazil or in our offices. Now, this horizon expanded. I don't think it's only for Potencial, but I think it's for every company. Now we know that we can hire anywhere in the world, and the person can work from anywhere and still be a part of Potencial team member. So that was a very important change for us as well. So overcoming everything that I said, what were our most important lessons learned? People, people, people. People are the key to success. Without our dedicated employees, none of this would have been possible. Also, that communication is the road to success and uncertainties. We were closer than ever with our brokers, with our insurance, with our clients, with our employees, and that definitely made Potencial come through the crisis in a smooth pattern. And last but not least, as I said before, that crisis is an opportunity for reinvention and for innovation. So every opportunity that we have to see the crisis as an opportunity to make ourselves better, to change and to reinvent ourselves. And what about those goals that I said earlier on? Did we emerge from pandemic stronger? Did we face crisis with the spirit of reinvention? Did we keep our clients? Did we keep people employed? Number one, we definitely are emerging from the pandemic stronger. Potencial in the year of 2020 is growing more than 12% year-to-date comparison to last year. We are achieving our goals, we are achieving our objectives, so we are very happy to see the path that we are building and what COVID-19 and its opportunities brought for Potencial. We definitely faced the crisis with a spirit of reinvention. Reinvented our processes, we invented our communication, many aspects Potencial had to reinvent, even our human resources criterias. That was very important for us to embrace the opportunities. We not only kept our clients, but as I said before, we grew our clients. Every day, Potencial has a huge amount of new clients, of new brokers wanting to do business with us, and that makes us very, very happy and very, very proud. And fourth, last but not least, keep people employed. We did not fire anyone of our employees due to COVID. So that makes us very proud to say we did not only not fired, but we hired many people. We hired many people. We still have many people to hire still for 2020. So I'm happy to say in name of Potencial that some lessons learned that COVID-19 was a tough time, but it was a time for reflection, a time for reinvention, and definitely a time for innovation. So that's what I had to say to you, a bit about Potencial and about our experience in COVID-19. We know that the pandemic is not over. We know that there's still a lot to do, there's still a lot to reinvent, but we are very, very strong in believing that we will come from this better and stronger. Thank you so much, everyone.
Wow. Tatiana, could you close the sharing screen and stay here for a moment? I want to talk with you.
Yes.
Wow. I got emotion. I almost cried here. I need to tell you guys a few things about Potential Seguradora. This company were born with Cqcs. I spent personally the first 3 years of the company monthly going to help these people to do better with brokers. I'm really crying. I'm not ashamed of being emotional. And I could not imagine. We had some few very special moments during the pandemic that really touched me. One of them was when I realized that people, please, sorry about my poor English. I don't speak the good English of Tatiana, okay? But once I was interviewing João Neto, my great friend. A big hug for you, João. Congratulations. And I met this guy 10 years ago. He was really young. And him and Carlinhos and Tatiana are doing an amazing work. But you started the SAP automation process during the pandemic. That was amazing. You celebrated your 10 years remotely. That's really touched me. And when I started to work with Potencial, we suffered a lot of pressures. Some companies left Cqcs and segurogaratia.net, the website we had. And I really believe those people from Minas Gerais. And now I'm very happy to see you mature. You becoming stronger during the crisis, people. I love it, And I'm very happy to realize that you're growing more than 10% during the pandemic. So Tatiana, was a big gift for me to have you here today. Make it even more special.
Thank you, Gustavo. Likewise. Thank you very much for this opportunity to share with you. And this cariño, all this love that you have with Potencial, it's the same way from here to there. So thank you very much for believing in us and for being always at our side.
Please wait a little because we already have some questions for you for our Q&A session. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. See you soon. Hey guys, I just realized that you couldn't hear the audio of the movie I had in my presentation. And thanks God that happened with me, so. And after the Q&A, who wants to watch the video again, we're going to make it work. But right now, we're going to invite a very, very, very special insurance professional. He is a leader of a company that lately, a lot of times I ask people about some new stuff. They say, I'm working for Zurich. And when Ingo Weber arrived here for the first edition of Cqcs in Surtec Inovação, he came here. He was working with Zurich. I have a great master of branding, of how to deal with transformations. Ricardo Guimarães, my great brother, my great friend, my master, who really support me. And whenever I talk with him, he should meet people from Zurich. I said, no, we are already working with Zurich. So this man, he used to be the president of the FENAPREV. He's also president of the Brazilian Association of International Insurance Companies. He has been 25 years working insurance and private pension and banks. For 8 years, he has been in the Zurich group. He was from Zurich Santander with amazing experience. A company is a model for the market. He is the regional and CEO of Latin America for Global Life. And right now, he's running a company who really touch us because the smart eye on people and innovation. I'd like to leave here a big hug from a great friend, Rodrigo Barros, who has been always helping Cqcs to work more and better for Zurich. It's very important for us to have this partnership. It's the kind of company we want to work close, you know. Can you imagine that I changed the design of this conference today to find a place so we could hear from Edson, because he can see the scenes like he's the helicopter, you know, see from above, and have always when he talks, it's like music, and always grow hearing his thoughts, his views. And please welcome Mr. Edson Franco. Edson, welcome, my friend.
Thank you, Gustavo. Thank you for your two kind words. I don't think I deserve that much, but thank you very much for the invitation to be here. Thank you. Thanks. I want also to thank all the Cqcs family for all the support and for putting together this event. Cheers to Caribou, to Tatiana, to Evandro, our co-speakers here today. So I'm gonna try to share my screen. Hopefully this
Good
will
luck, my friend.
work
Tell
out.
us how COVID impacted our...
Yeah, so can you see already the presentation?
Yes, it's perfect,
Okay.
100%.
Good. So I'm going to jump right into the presentation because I think we have a lot of things to say, and I don't want to miss the important stuff. When COVID started, after a couple of months, we set up a communication process between all the countries in Latin America. Zurich, as you know, is present in more than 160 countries all over the world. In Latin America, we are in 6 countries: Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Ecuador, and Colombia. We started to map the main trends that COVID was actually pushing. So we end up with those 7 trends: products and services to meet customer behavior changes, the obvious impact of going digital and accelerating digitalization, the specific impacts of digitalization to brokers, the trend to companies come together in ecosystems, more cooperation, more overlap between businesses, more gray areas between players also, even from different industries. An increase interest in protection, specifically in life insurance. I saw that one of the questions of the Q&A was regarding this, if there was an increase in the search for life insurance products. The answer is yes. Demand, the obvious, maybe a spin-off of the increase in awareness of self-protection was also the demand for online wellness services increasing. And also, and this one was a little bit surprising, a customer behavior more towards socially concerns. So what are the companies doing for the planet? Where are the companies? Are those companies sustainable or not? So maybe some trends that we were already finding in before COVID, but COVID has accelerated many of them. For the purpose of this presentation, I'm going to focus on those first 3 so that we can go a little bit deeper on those trends, but also give the important messages. And I jump right into the first one: products and services to meet customer behavioral changes. So it's kind of obvious. People are more now more sensitive to convenience than before. Again, this was an acceleration of trend as opposed to a new trend coming up. I don't think that there was actually, given the COVID specifically, any new trend or any surprising behavioral change from customers coming together. I think everything that we are seeing, it's mostly the acceleration of things that in a way or the other, we were already observing. So millennials were already pushing change towards more digitalization and convenience. Now it's the difference is that this is not only for millennials. This is also for my 72-year-old aunt or for people of any generation. So the increase of the convenience-driven behavior is now not dependent on gender or on generation anymore. So obviously new working habits, I think Tatiana brought this a little bit, created also new challenges for the companies, but also opportunities for the insurance market. I think now we can see that people will look for coverage, insurance coverage on things that maybe before they were not paying that much attention, and also a stronger appetite from the customer side for usage-based insurance, but not only for that. The acceleration of long-term trends on products and services like UBI, it's also on other things like telehealth. This is also going to be an important new trend of the life and health insurance industries. So we're talking more flexible coverages, more complete solutions, bundles of protection and prevention. Here there is something that I want to draw the attention to, because I think as insurance companies, we have always been very effective in improving our effectiveness in paying claims. But there is actually something that we need to start doing to actually prevent the claim from happening. So people now are more self-aware of the self-protection, of protecting their families, themselves, and their businesses. So services that will provide people with the right changing behavior, the right advisory to actually be more protected from the claim to happening, I think it's one of the things that we're going to start seeing more and more. Income protection for individuals, also specifically the life insurance protection. I think it's one thing that people will look more and more over the next years. And also cyber risk mitigation and services, not only for companies, but also for personal equipment that now are being used also from home to work. So this leads us to all the digital space and all the digital transformation. It's not only about, I mean, digital, it's a big word. We can put together into this word a lot of different concepts. So yes, we do see more space for the use of artificial intelligence, of data analytics, multi-device collaboration now. It's something that is becoming more and more important. We are seeing actually a change in behavior towards virtual meetings, digitalization in the private sector and also in the public sector. I mean, until maybe 2 years ago, if you asked someone when the Supreme Court would accept to do a virtual session with actual voting, the answer would be never, and they are actually doing it. So we are seeing also, even during the pandemics, we are seeing the economy going towards a more cashless society. the start of Pix now will actually help to accelerate a revolution in terms of the habits of how people deal with money, with cash in their wallets, with credit cards, with several means of payment. So I think the key point here is that the trends are there. They are kind of obvious at this point. In hindsight, at least, they became obvious. And obviously, no business is 100% resilient, but high technological intensity businesses will respond better to the future, especially given the acceleration that we have seen happening over the last months. So what do we do? What do companies need to do? And also we as individuals, actually. I had this class the other day with a professor from ETH. ETH, it's the equivalent to the MIT in Switzerland. And he came up with this concept of exploration versus exploitation. So exploration is to take most of the experiences and the businesses that you already have. Exploitation is actually learning new things and trying new things. And his main suggestion is we need to create space for thinking out of the box. We need to create a space in a methodological way to actually experiment exploitation. So it's not about multitasking, it's about partitioning time, putting aside some time, quality time and money to actually exploit new things from a personal and also from a business perspective. And last but not least, how these affect brokers. So we did several discussions in our company on the role of the brokerage. And our conclusion, no matter how we look at the intermediation, our conclusion is in insurance, especially in Brazil, given our culture, the intermediation and the brokerage will always remain relevant. So I think this is something very important because advisory, it's more important than ever after the moment that we are living. People are actually looking for advice at this point. Obviously, the businesses will be transformed. The brokerage business will also be transformed as any other business. But we can't let digital transformation make companies or relationships less human. So there is a trade-off between digital efficiency and emotional interaction, user experience, empathy. So we need to create a way for the brokers to actually be more digital proficient without losing the main capital that the main asset that they have with the customers, which is the relationship. And I think that this support to digitalization, it's something that the insurance companies need to provide to brokers. So we need to separate all the day-to-day business as usual relationship with the customers for digital interaction, but make sure that we also keep this emotional, this empathic component in the relationship. So digital transformation is not about, there is technology there is not an end in itself. Technology is a mean. So digital transformation is only business transformation empowered by technology. So we need to see how to use technology to actually make relationships more and more relevant. It is imperative to change to be sustainable for everybody, including brokers. But we need to also balance the components of digitalization to actually make advisory relevant for the customer. And just to give a final message, despite the difficult year, despite everything that we've seen happening with economies all over the world, and despite the level of uncertainty that we still have for the first quarter or for the first half of next year, I think we have a lot of reasons to be optimistic, because I think the level of collaboration between people, the level of empathy, the level of concern, the level of caringness between people has increased during this moment that we are living, during this crisis that we've been living, and I think this will actually remain with a lot of good things that came from this process and that we have learned. So at Zurich, we like to say that we are informed optimists. So I am optimistic about the future. That's my message, Gustavo. I'll hand it back to you.
It's very, very, very nice to hear from you this view of empowering the broker. And not only in Brazil, United States also, and Japan also, I could say, in Chile, over 85% of the business are doing. People choose to feel more protected if they have some personal advice, and that's very relevant. And when you bring this mindset of providing more tools for the brokers so they can take more care of their clients who are more aware about the risk they are exposed of this experience, that's making me really optimistic about what kind of a market we are building, especially here in Brazil. So Edson, thank you very much. Please wait a little and see you in the Q&A. Thank you very much, my friend. It was amazing.
My pleasure.
Now I'm going to talk with you about a very special person in my life. I met this guy in 2017. I knew about ITC from Marcelo Blay here in Praia do Forte Beach. And he said, that's an amazing conference. I was the only Brazilian there. And I really think that you should stop by. When I arrived in ITC, I got crazy. And at that moment, Cqcs, after a lot of huge challenge, was really in an easy way, smooth path, like a video game. And I was really calm. I mean, not really calm, man. I was looking for a next step. And when I arrived in the conference, we have a tool for networking. And I knew that guy named Caribou, who was the chairman of the operation. And I used the tool to arrange a meeting. He said, oh, yes, let's meet. And then I arrived there in the day before, the pre-conf day. It was a very strange moment in Vegas because you have the shooting on Mandalay Bay. But even that, the Brazilians were there. We have the first year they have one Brazilian. That year we have over 50 Brazilians. And he said, sending a message, said, hey, Gustavo, if you want to meet me, let's use today because tomorrow I think it's going to get really crazy. I have no time. When I met that guy with his fedora hat and he told me, how are you? I said, I'm crazy and I want to be part of it. He said, why? Why you want to be part of it? I said, because here I feel the future, the transformation, the possibilities of connecting all the world looking for a better protected society. Since then, we have been partners, friends, brothers. Please welcome my great friend, my godfather, Karibu Honi. He is the chairman of ITC. He is a very, very special skilled man. He came from the VC side. He was he co-founded CAD Investors. It's a boutique, VC boutique company. And since then, he started ITC. I know he's founder of the Human HR Transform. It's an event which cares about how people will be cared in this new design of society. We've come with the connection, the connectivity, and also he's always looking. Now he's part of Sempervirus, and is a VC firm focused on future of work investments. And I really admire Karibu about the way he sees people, tools, and future. When he came to Brazil in our first edition of Cqcs, Insurtech Innovation, he said that APIs are going to be the very strong trend. At that moment, people wasn't really talking pretty much about APIs, and that came true. And right now, I would like to invite you, Karibu, to tell us, in your point of view, how COVID impacted the insurance market globally, and what you see for the next stage for us. Thank you so much for accepting being as with us. Good luck, my friend. Oh, pretty guy with the white bear.
Thank you, Gustavo. Really wonderful to be here. And you know, the 2 years or so before this crazy 2020 year, you know, I got the chance to go to Brazil twice. I got to go to Colombia, to Mexico City. And gosh, I miss getting to see people in person. I miss getting to see people across Latin America in person. You know, I always felt so welcome, so warm there. And so I really am, I like Edson's term, an informed optimist that will be able to get together in person again a year from now. So with that, you know, how is coronavirus changing the insurance market? My sort of big idea here, if you'll forgive me, is that COVID is a platform shift. Right? This is kind of a framework, a way of thinking about COVID when I call it a platform shift. And as such, it's affecting not just insurance, but really it's a platform shift that affects business generally. Now, let me say what I mean by that, this notion of a platform shift. It's sort of like, you know, when there's an earthquake, the tectonic plates move under your feet, right? And sometimes that gives rise to entire new continents when there's a platform shift. So think about the PC, the personal computer, right, as one of the most important platform shifts. Right? Think about the web, right, as another crucially important platform shift. Think about the smartphone and mobile, right, as a platform shift. Each one was kind of a game changer, right, of how business and other things for that matter was going to get done. And like I say, I think COVID is a platform shift as well. Now, what does a platform shift look like? You know, what should you look for, and what makes me believe that COVID fits in this same progression? Well, first of all, when there's a platform shift, some long-held assumptions about how the world works and how you get things done get thrown into doubt, typically get thrown into the trash bin. Secondly, you know, the legacy approaches, not just the legacy assumptions, but the legacy approaches of how you get things done becomes obsolete. The old ways of doing things no longer make sense. We've always done it that way is no longer a good reason to keep doing it that way. I mean, once upon a time, companies hired whole teams of people to create presentations, right? And then you got the PC and PowerPoint and Adobe making that approach obsolete. Right? Once upon a time, you had to sign documents in person, right? And the web changed that. And then thirdly, This is actually, back to the informed optimism. New businesses and even new industries are typically born when there's a platform shift. Right? I think that can be very exciting. So long-held assumptions can get thrown into doubt. What's that look like? Well, the PC changed how I do my taxes, quite frankly. Right? There was an old assumption that I had to do my taxes by hiring an accountant. The PC came about, and Intuit wrote software so that I could do my own taxes on my personal computer. There's mobile changed assumptions about how I pay people. Right? No longer do I need to carry cash or a checkbook in order to split the bill for dinner. Right? I can use Venmo or other services on my phone. These are just a couple examples of past platform shifts. COVID, right, cast some assumptions into the trash heap as well. Right? The notion of work from home, right? What is your office? Right? That is a long-held assumption. Yeah, people can only be productive if they're working in the office. Well, that's not true. If I need to see the doctor, I need to go see the doctor. Well, sometimes, but not always, right? Telemedicine, right, is now a real thing. And it wasn't really trending to be until COVID, right? But COVID, out of necessity, sort of threw this assumption that the only way to see a doctor is in person. That's out the window. And there's plenty of other areas, right, particularly with the COVID platform shift, that are sort of throwing old assumptions out, right? In the realm of transportation, in lots of other aspects around the future of work. Second, legacy approaches become obsolete. Now, the whole blockbuster stories is one that's been told many times, but I think it's still a great illustration, right? The brick and mortar store for video rentals was made obsolete by the internet and streaming like Netflix. Right? Other types of brick and mortar retail, right, has faced all sorts of pressure, right? With e-commerce and such. Payment processing, right, has shifted as well, right? There were legacy approaches to taking credit card payments, debit card payments, and those were fine in the world of the PC, but then you get the web and then you get mobile, right? And the old solutions didn't work if someone was trying to take a payment in their app, right? So new approaches show up there because the legacy ones no longer work. And I think you're seeing a similar phenomenon in the world of COVID, right? Certain old ways of doing business are turning obsolete. Right? I think about, in the insurance world, in-person claims adjusting, right? That's being replaced in some cases by self-service, right? I think that's true for auto, right? Do I always need to send someone in person to take a look at the accident? Maybe not. I think it's true for home insurance. Same thing. Even true with life insurance requiring less and less in-person medical underwriting. And some of these trends were already happening before COVID. But I think it's sort of in a world where, no, you're really not supposed to be within 6 feet of another person, right? It at a minimum accelerates and really in some ways just creates a much more widespread acceptance, right, around these new ways of doing it, throwing away the obsolete old approaches. And the third aspect of a platform shift, right, which I sort of get most excited about, are how it opens the door for new businesses, and in some cases, even new industries, to emerge in the aftermath. So if you look at past platform shifts, insurtechs and other technology companies built the tools on the PC, using the web, on smartphone, actually to help enable the insurers and the brokers to adapt to the platform shift. And that's great. And in past platform shifts, as new industries emerged, like ride sharing on Uber, or another example, drone videography, right? People who started taking videos using drones, that became a little industry unto itself, new business that emerged because of these prior platform shifts. And some insurance companies realized, oh, Uber is not a taxi, right? A drone operator taking video is not the same as a pilot. The products that I have as an insurance company might not be the right products anymore for these new businesses and new industries that emerge. And that creates opportunity. I think in the era of COVID, right, with the COVID platform shift, again, I think you're seeing the insurtechs and others build the tools to enable the industry to adapt. Right? The tools around life insurance underwriting without as many in-person medical exams, the tools around being able to sort of look at claims, right, without the human interaction. And just as before with other past platform shifts, new industries are emerging as a result of COVID, and that creates new opportunities for insurance companies to support them better, right? Telehealth is not the same as a doctor's office. And if I'm trying to insure a telehealth practice, I don't know if that's riskier or less risky than a traditional doctor's office. I just know it doesn't present the same risk. And the insurance companies and the brokers that serve it as a distinct type of business, I think are going to succeed, right? Ghost kitchens, right? These sort of restaurants that don't actually have a dining area, but are designed entirely to support takeout, which, no surprise, that's, become a thing now with COVID. I don't know if they're more risky or less risky than a traditional dine-in restaurant, but they are different. And that presents an opportunity for the insurance industry to serve them better. I sort of liken it to Tatiana's sort of description around face the crisis with a spirit of reinvention, right? I think that COVID as a platform shift, right, opens the door to that reinvention. And so, ultimately, what is the impact of COVID on the insurance industry, right? I think COVID is a platform shift, right? Upsetting some of the old norms and creating new opportunities. And thinking of it as a platform shift, the reason I sort of share this is I think that's a lens through which to look at the world and to see what's going on and to find those opportunities. So I'll end by misquoting something that my business partner, Jay Weintraub, likes to say. He would ask, what is a digital revolution? And he would answer it with a rethinking not just what is possible, what is the new normal, right? That new expectation. And when you have new normals established, that is what you come to see as the result of a digital revolution. So I'll misquote him, right, by saying, what is a COVID revolution, right? And in this post-COVID or current COVID world, right, it is still a rethinking not just what is possible, but what is the new normal, right? In a sense, that is the impact of COVID on the insurance industry. So with that, I'll pass it back to you, Gustavo.
I love very much when I keep wondering, just a second. Okay, I'm back. No, I'm here now. Sorry. And I like pretty much the ghost kitchen comparison with restaurants. To make a parallel with the Uber and the taxis. That make a lot of sense. I have seen a lot of opportunities in this change. This event is a proof that there are opportunities. As Tatiana said when she shared with us her thoughts. And I keep here wondering, in our last ITC, 2019, I saw Mr. Shapiro. I think he's from Allstate. I'm not sure if the company is Allstate, but I think it is. And he was really sincere when he shared it. He was ashamed because he had technology to end a claim, automobile claim, in 2 hours. But because he did not really trust the technology, he's still taking 2 or 3 days to pay the claim. And that's the change of the platform that you were suggesting make a lot of sense, because I'm sure right now he's paying 2 hours because he have no chance. He was pushed to this new mindset. And it's always a pleasure to see you sharing and your thoughts and your views. I'm very optimistic about how our industry is going this new normal. And I think when the vaccine arrived, this new normal won't be that all new, but some legacy will come from it. And I'm very happy to be here today with you because you gave me the opportunity to dive in a new world, put Cqcs as a global brand. And it's very important everyone to know that you, Jay, Samara, Bill, all those wonderful people from ITC have been really very nice and kind with us. Brazil was once again the biggest world to stop with almost a double from the second place. We are really involved in it. We already have 2 tickets sold for the next edition because Sincor São Paulo gave a prize for 2 ladies that won. So we already have tickets for 2021, October. I don't remember the days. Have the days exactly?
I believe October 4th through 6th of next year.
First, yeah, it is. And I'm really expecting to be there with you and all those people again. And thank you very much. Let's invite back our friends for a Q&A session. And I would like also to say thank you very much for our friends who are our ambassadors, people who are really working for us to make it more international. I don't know if I shared with you, we had more than 3,000 people registering this conference, more than 20 countries participating, and we have ambassadors. And Mateus Motin in Mozambique, and Enrique Rodriguez in Mexico, and Julio Baez, is not really ambassador, but really a friend who has been helping us from Ecuador to be here with us. And we really appreciate everybody who helped us to make it more international. In the next year, we're going to make more efforts to bring a better conference for you. Please help answering the survey in the chat. And let's bring back Mrs. Tatiana Matar. Hello, Tatiana. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
And Edson Franco. And our friend Evandro Salles. We are finishing a remarkable moment of the Latin American insurance market. We are doing here something really special because people are helping us. When I make my presentation, I saw more than 30 people helping us in each aspect of making it happen. And I would like to thank you very much, the people who come to watch us, the audience. And I will start, first of all, just a second. I will ask the first one for Tatiana. Ladies first, always. So Leandro Bordon brought us, thank you for the presentations. The pandemic has raised awareness of the importance and the need for insurers, and has also changed insurers to create new products, new service, and more efficient ways to serve the customer. How do you see, Tatiana, this change in insurance companies, and what is the importance of data and the research to map new customer behavior?
Thank you, Leandro, for your question. Well, new products, I don't know if you know, but I'm new products director in Potencial. So it's a big change here for Potencial since we were created as a single line product. And now we are facing the challenge of bringing products that do exist, but in different manners, different ways. So what we're trying to do in Potencial is to bring products that are traditional products that will address our customers, our clients, and our brokers, but that the client experience and the broker experience is different, is faster, it's more efficient, it's simpler, it's simple. So that's what we're trying to do to serve our customer. One important thing I think that I said in my presentation was to bring the customer and our brokers to help us make decisions, put them in the table, hear them, ask surveys, question them. When we listen to our clients, when we listen to our brokers, we are more qualified to make the right decision. We have more information, right? And I think that is very important when you have the data inside our company. So if you're prepared to receive all the information that you have from your clients, from your customer behavior, for what they're buying, what they want, how do they want, then you're more prepared to make this change and to be more efficient. All of this comes in a form of traditional products together with different journeys. I think the insurance market will not die as we know it. The products will not die. Of course, there are some products that will emerge from other necessities, from other needs that maybe we don't have now, we haven't realized them yet. But I think that we are still in the phase in the insurance market to get those traditional products and change them, the journey that the client will serve them, the journey that the broker will sell them. So I think that we are adjusting all this customer experience to serve them better and be more efficient together with the customer.
Thank you very much, Tatiana. And Edson, people like you here. I have two questions for you. I'll ask you one right now. That's Claudia Souza. She's asking, on life insurance, if you're going to have some innovation about in the forms of the proposal of the plans because this new normal. What's the change that is happening to allow the client to contract in this new normal life insurance?
Yeah. No, I think there is a lot of room for innovation in life insurance, especially in the way that we distribute life insurance. For instance, in our operation in Zurich, Italy, we already have a pilot of instead of filling up a health survey, a software scan you, and only by scanning you, the software can guess if you are your height, your weight, if you are overweight or not, if you are a smoker or non-smoker, if you use glasses. There is a lot of information just by scanning your face. So I think there is a lot of things that we can do. But for me, the most important change comes back to the one I mentioned before, which is a culture of prevention and servicing the customer. I think one of the biggest problems that we have in insurance, it's like that for a motor insurance, it's even more for a life insurance, is that you have very few moments of contact with the customer. When you have a motor insurance, if you don't actually have a claim, you're going to talk to your client twice, when you sell and when you want to renew, right? In life insurance, if it's a term insurance, depending on how you bill, I mean, you're not going to talk to your customer for years, right? So or ever. Maybe you will talk to their family at one point, their beneficiaries, right? So I think that there is a lot of potential, and telemetry for me, it's a key word, because I think today, not only for auto telemetry for to implement UBI, but also for health telemetry, we can do a lot to actually help people to be more healthy. So wellness is something that it's now in the heart of everybody. So I think that the insurance companies have not only the I think we have an ethical obligation to actually help people to be more healthy, and there is a lot of potential in wellness tech platforms that can help to do that.
Sorry, I always get lost with this mic, multi mic. I've been doing conference almost all year long and keeping doing that. Thank you very much, Edson, and I agree with you. And it's very sensitive point how much you can track people in their behavior. So that's a very. I think those points we will find a adjustment, that ethical adjustment to serve better people to have a better life. Evandro, people are asking if Quigo is going to help the health plans. We are planning to work with health plans sales also, or only with auto?
Yes, we already have solutions specifically for life and health, and the name Quiver-SE. And also, we always have visions the future that supports the market from small and large brokers. It's a very good solution, specifically the proposal, the quantity, the lives, and specific activity. We invite everyone to get a now Quiver-SE insight, is a specific explanation.
Thank you very much. If you don't mind, I would like to ask you if you go in the chat and put the Quiver website so people can get there. I take a look in the product. Thank you very much for answer. And Caribou, we have a friend here, Nilson Moraes. He's really aware about shared electric cars, and the society looking for sustainability, and also the population longevity getting more older people, and digitalization will impact the insurance broker in the market. Let me try to organize it. In what way, in your perception, the shared cars and electric cars, the look for the sustainability and also the longevity of the population and digitalization will bring impact for the insurance broker and the insurance market?
So I think you're asking, Gustavo, like all the impact.
Not me, Nilson.
All the sort
Nilson.
the core sort of improvements in vehicles, right? Electric, autonomy, business models like ride hailing, right? Combined with some of the population getting older, right? And having interest in more of the autonomy, especially what's the implication for the broker world, right? Around that. And I think I would say that, look, actually, there's an impact for the brokers, but it's not the one that you're describing, not in time frame that I would worry about, right? The impact is less around, okay, it's, some of these vehicles will start to drive themselves, or they're electrified, or people are going to not have their own car, they'll use Uber. I really think the impact of those, while some of them, especially autonomous, could be very profound a couple of decades from now, I just don't think that they're on track to have a major impact in the next 10 or 15 years, right? Certainly not on the insurance aspect of it. But what I do think is happening that insurers and brokers need to care about is that the car makers, regardless of electric, regardless of autonomous, right, they are beginning to sort of factor in, to capture how people drive, right? They have the telematics built in now, and they have a channel of communication, whether it's at a dealer or after the sale, to the end consumer. So Tesla has talked for a few years about Tesla insurance. There's a company that is partnered with Porsche here in the US, which to enable insurance specifically for Porsche vehicles in combination with Porsche, the company. And just a couple of days ago, General Motors announced that they were getting back into the insurance business here. Right? And it doesn't matter whether it's electric or gas. It doesn't matter really, what the underlying technology is. What matters is they have data, they have a channel. It's a kind of embedded insurance opportunity, right? And they're starting to offer it through their channel, right? And that while I don't think direct to customer, direct to consumer, online only kind of offers pose much of a threat to the brokers, I think those kind of embedded insurance offerings might pose a more legitimate threat there.
Thank you very much. Tesla also tried to do that, needed to stop and came back again as a new chance. And the point, I want to give my opinion about that. I'm really lucky because this innovation network put me in contact with a very special fellow. Caribou introduced me to him, with Mr. Jonathan Kalman. We have a very, very smart, sharp operation. And we have a board meeting every 2 months. And a lady from Swiss Re, I need to remember her name, but I cannot do that right now. And she brought the figure of the bionic broker. Yeah? The broker, in Brazil, with the COVID, the population chose the broker. That was an amazing thing. There's a stamp of society needs the broker in Brazil. I don't know how Edson feel about that, but the point is the broker needs to be sharp, to take care about these kinds of I don't know how to say in English, and this kind of, como eu diria, ameaça, Edson?
Yes.
This kind of threats. And because we will have a lot of people try to sell insurance directly. If these IoT systems around, a lot of information in my refrigerator at home, people with the telemetry for people to take care of their house. So I think that the way for the broker, as I am, to need to be really updated as much as they can, and try to privilege the companies who provide them this technology to be more digital and more efficient in the news area. And Marcelo Tenedini told us that in Germany, Edson, they use this software in the health survey since 2017. That's been happening. But Edson, people really would like to help them. You help them with your vision. What are your expectations for the insurance market in 2021?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Crystal ball, man.
My regional CEO is asking me the same question over and over, but she doesn't get happy with my answer. She always wants more. Look, if we look the track record of the insurance market in Brazil, we will see that the insurance market always grow 1.5 to 2.5 times the GDP average growth. So if we are projecting, and today the market consensus goes that we should have something between 2 and 2.5% growth of GDP next year, I think it's not too far-fetched to project that the insurance market will have something around 6 to 7% real term growth next year. So if we put inflation up, I think we can easily get to a double-digit growth in nominal terms for insurance next year. I do think that the recovery will be a little bit faster than we are projecting. Obviously, it depends a lot on when the vaccine will start, if we're going to have a second wave in Brazil or not. And today we need to, we can't be too arrogant to say that we have the answers. We don't. We only have the questions. And then we have to do a scenario planning.
Thank you very much, my friends. I think we are done. Thank you, everybody, about Tatiana, Evandro, Edson, Caribou. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you, the audience, all the people from Cqcs, from Cqcs Eventos, the ladies, Elena and Juliana from the translation. Thank you very much. And who wanna watch the video after the speakers leave? Please wait a little. I will show that back again. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful about your presence. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Gustavo.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Carlos Valle. So it's Mr. Arthur Clark and suggested for 2001. We were able to do that in 2001, but only after COVID, we are using all this technology to have a better quality of life. And for sure, after this experience, we're going to get better, stronger, and more human. Depend of each of us. I'm doing my part, and I'm for sure everyone around here are doing your part. Thank you very much. Gratitude. See you soon. Valeu, galera.